Hello world! Happy Mid-Autumn Festival.
Happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Today for our video, we want to talk about
how we met.
I actually always envision myself finding my partner at an event. That was not Grindr, not Tinder, not whatever online. My ideal thing was one of my friends had a wedding. I see a guy in the distance. Somehow we get spark.
Yeah, I had a similar, not that kind of fantasy, but my fantasy was definitely not through an app.
Yeah, mine was like, I was like, I do not want to meet my partner through an app.
Well, there's a lot of things you said you never do that you do for me, so. Point being, don't have a set expectation for how you want to meet somebody.
It's true.
Anyway, so we met on Grindr. I'd never met anybody in Grindr before. I was on the app just checking, and I saw this beautiful face. And I decided to show my friend, and I was like, oh, isn't he so cute? He's like, yeah, I'll message him. I was like, no, there's no point. Like, I don't want to message him. He's not going to reply. We're not compatible for certain reasons.
What was my photo?
So I saw the picture, and I messaged him saying, hi. I think that's all I said. Just
something like that.
Hi.
Hey.
So that's how I started. My friend was like, well, it's COVID, so just message him. So I did.
At that time, I used Grindr only. And I think when you messaged me, I saw your message, I think when it was nighttime, and I was sitting in a beanie bag. Yeah. And I was like, his profile was very, very well done. It was those pictures where someone took it of for him, and I think it was quite nice.
Posed,
yeah. My photos, if you ever check my Instagram, are very unfiltered. It's like me taking a selfie, or someone taking a picture of like me and someone else, not posed at all, right? It is aesthetically pleasing, the photo, right? Not like just the person in it, right? Obviously he is, but not just the person in it, but the photo itself. So when I first saw it, right, I thought it was fake. If I think it's fake, I don't respond, right? So, but for some reason, I decided to just go for it and message him back. Like, we struck up a cool conversation. I asked him for his Instagram early on, and I always do this because my belief is if you give me your Instagram, chances are you're probably real.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my
good
belief.
tip out there.
That's my belief, right?
Yeah.
And I've had people who told me, oh, well, you shouldn't do that because they're invasive. I'm like, bitch, no. So I asked him for his. He gave it to me, and I scrolled through it, and I was like, okay, well, we're gonna be friends. Like, yep, we're friends. We're just being friends. Nothing more than friends, right? And it was COVID, so I figured. I didn't reply in the beginning, right? But I went back to it, and I figured, why not? So I replied.
That's Dylan. Dylan is.
Yeah. So okay, well.
I think what happened was we had a very natural chemistry when we were texting one another. He told me what he does. He was like, oh, recently I've been switching from private to from public sector to private sector, and I think I asked, that's really cool. Besides the obvious financial reasons, what other big changes have you seen in your career shift? Right? I remember that being the question because for some reason you thought it was like so unique.
Oh yeah, he's one of the very few people who have actually got me thinking on Grindr. Grindr, for people who may not know, is like a gay app. Oh yeah, people might not know. Grindr is an app for gay men, and typically, right, conversations are very
transactional.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and perhaps slightly shallow, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's typically,
And who is on this app using it so frequently? I wonder.
Typically, not always, but people who may want to hook up.
Anyways, so now that you know what Grindr is, so we were chatting on Grindr, and I think I asked that, and then we quickly switched over to Instagram, and then Instagram we switched to WhatsApp, and there was one point I remember that it was legitimately like an hour where we were just texting back and forth and back and forth. There was no pause. Like we were obviously sitting at our phones and just texting each other. I think I was in bed and you were in bed probably, and we decided to meet up. So it was very unstructured and last minute. Oh, look. Every video he on.
But we decided to meet up one day, and he was going to hike. Early on, we agreed to have dinner on that day.
Right? It was really late. I finished the hike super late.
Yeah, so it was quite late. So I think for me, my mindset was, I'm not gonna like wait for anybody just to have, food or something, right? So I had something to eat beforehand. But because we had dinner planned, I was like, well, do you still want to meet up for dinner? And he said yes. It was quite late, and I was searching up.
9:30. And this is during COVID, so everything was closing around 9.
Yeah, so I found a Japanese little place.
Omelette rice.
Japanese curry place, and I was like, let's go meet there, right? He got there before me, and then he texted me saying, "Oh, actually, it's not open, right?"
I was like, "Look for the pumpkin. I look like a pumpkin."
I was dressed in orange.
Yeah, like if you wear orange, you kind of look like a pumpkin. Anyways,
you do look like a pumpkin, but yeah. And let's go to his other place, and it was a Taiwanese place. He goes there and says, "Oh, they're closing in like half an hour." And so I was still walking there, so I was just like, run a bit faster, right? And
he did run fast because he came in sweating. So I wasn't expecting him to be so big. So the thing about guys in their Grindr profiles and Tinder profiles is they all look like these like really machismo big guys that walk up. It's always about like angle. They get like this downward angle so they look bigger than they actually are in real life.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of times where I think I'm meeting up with a guy who's like chiseled and stuff. And don't get me wrong, they're chiseled, but they're not quite the same size that they look to be on their photos. So I was expecting you to be not so tall.
Really?
Yeah, so he walks and he's taller than me.
I was 6 feet, 6 foot.
Yeah, but like I didn't believe, and so the truth is that after my hike, I was so hungry that I ate a full meal.
Yeah, so
and
I had something, and then, both of us were so like, yeah, let's have dinner.
Because I didn't want to like be flaky. I didn't want to miss the chance to meet him, right? Because I felt like there was a true connection. Like, I really thought to myself, this is somebody who is going to be my friend for life, right? Like, it was just so natural. I ended up ordering Taiwanese noodles.
What was your first impression when you saw me?
Oh, I thought he was really cute, but really sweaty.
What?
You were dripping.
I was that sweaty. I ran for you.
Sweaty.
Sweaty. Oh, sorry. I said slutty.
Oh my gosh. No, I said sweaty.
I was wearing short shorts, so that's
right. Yeah, he was wearing short shorts. And the thing is, because I didn't think I needed to be attractive for him, I was in like...
Yeah, you were like not ready for a date. This guy was not ready for a date.
Like, I hadn't showered.
You know what he had? He had messy, unruly hair, which I actually find attractive. He had his glasses on.
Yeah.
He had... I don't think you shaved. You're wearing sweats with sandals and a really loose... I think it was loose
orange
fitting.
Shirt, yeah.
Yeah, your orange shirt. I was like... Oh my God. And I was actually happy because... To me, he wasn't trying to.
I really wasn't.
It was great because I didn't want to be trying too, right? He established for me directly a vibe where we can just be chill.
Taiwanese noodles. We slurped that up real quick, because we were the only people in the restaurant.
After dinner, okay, both of us could have left, right? But I think both of us wanted to stay a bit longer with each other. We just
wanted to chat.
Yeah, because we were a bit rushed, right? So I think...
we started by walking along the city center. And then the conversation kept going, right? And so then we walked towards the harbor front. And then the conversation kept going. So then I was like, oh, you know what? I'll walk him home, which was in the westward direction. So I walked him along the west of the harbor until we reached Saigon. And then I was like, okay, so now he's probably going to leave me, right? Like, he's probably just going to go home now because we're, like, super close to your house. And he's like, oh, do you want to walk to Wan Chai? Which is like literally another hour in the opposite direction. And I was like, oh, he still wants to talk with me. Oh, so there was this, we were crossing this bridge at one point, and I swear it looks like Mordor, because they're doing this subway construction, so we were like looking over the edge of the railing, and I'd seen it before, and he mentioned he liked fantasy, so when we were walking back that direction, I wanted to show him, and when you look down, you see them like doing metal work, so you see like sparks of red and flashes in the earth. Mordor!
He's very creative.
Mordor! Anyways. I don't know if that's how Mordorians. Any Lord of the Rings fan is gonna like shoot me.
Okay.
Anyways.
Do you want to get back on topic?
Okay, so we spent, I think, 3 hours walking. It was way past midnight when we finally were like, probably time to go home. So.
Anyways, what I wanted to say was, it was a great walk, and he ended up bringing us to some random area in Wanchai that I didn't know existed. I think people who aren't from Hong Kong might think of high rises and very crowded places and all that, but there are some really like gems in the city.
We should, you know what we should do? We should do our little gems, our little hidden hideaways in Hong Kong.
Yeah, we should.
We can show you where we go when we're looking for a little escape from the hubbub of the city. Hub and hub escaping the hub and escaping the hub and hub escaping the hubbub with hub and hub. So that was our first meeting, and we'll update you on how our relationship progressed. Maybe we can do that, you know? We talk about how we've gotten to where we currently are.
Oh, that is a journey in itself, isn't it?
It is a journey, right? As we say, enjoy the journey. Hopefully you enjoyed our video and you enjoyed the experience of joining us on our first date.
Yeah. I think what we should do is we should have a an excerpt of where we had the date.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll show you, because I think Dylan had a little moment when you saw the neon lights. He had some neon lights that you saw.
Wait, let me read it to them. All right, here it goes. The flickering neon sign of the Chinese restaurant was reminiscent of a star twinkling in the night. And as the purples and reds played across my retina, I imagined staring into a cloudless night sky. The violet shades of the galaxies, so distant yet still visible, and the maroon trails of falling stars streaming across the sky. And I made a wish on that imagined shooting star. I wished for a little bit of peace and quiet amidst the rumbling city streets. Blinking myself back to reality, I continued in my way to the Chinese noodle store. Keeping my hopes quashed and my dreams reined in, little did I know, a little piece of peace and quiet was waiting for me at my dinner table.
That's very cute.